Look, let me ask you something. You check your bank account. There's a few $100s sitting there, maybe 1,000. And instead of feeling relieved, you feel tense. Like one unexpected bill, one bad week, one small mistake could knock everything over. Your car makes a weird noise. Stress. An email from your landlord. Stress. Your boss says, "Can we talk later?" Immediate panic. And you tell yourself the same thing everyone does. I just need to make more money. But here's the thing. For most people, it's not income that's breaking their brain. It's the fact that they haven't crossed a very specific money threshold yet. And today I want to talk about why the first $5,000 changes the way your brain works around money permanently. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually affects our behavior, our decisions, and our stress levels. If you're someone who works hard, earns money, but still feels constantly behind or anxious about finances, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because once you understand what really happens before and after that first $5,000, you stop fighting yourself financially. Here's the assumption almost everyone makes. If I just earned more, I'd feel secure. Sounds logical, but it's wrong. According to Federal Reserve data, about 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. And many of those people aren't unemployed. They're working. They have income. What they don't have is a buffer. And without a buffer, your brain goes into what psychologists call survival mode. In survival mode, your mind is constantly scanning for danger. What if something breaks? What if I lose my job? What if rent goes up? What if I get sick? And when your brain is in that state, three things happen automatically. First, you make short-term decisions even when you know better. Second, investing feels scary instead of exciting. Third, emotional spending becomes a coping mechanism. This is why people who understand money still struggle with debt. It's not lack of knowledge, it's stress. Here's where it gets really interesting. There is a massive psychological difference between having $1,000 saved and having $5,000 saved. Mathematically, it's just $4,000 more. Psychologically, it's an entirely different operating system. At $1,000, your brain says, "This is fragile. Don't touch it." At $5,000, your brain says, "I can handle a problem and still be okay." That single shift reduces stress more than most raises ever will. Studies in consumer behavior show that people with even modest emergency reserves have lower stress hormones, make more patient decisions, and are far more likely to invest long-term. Your brain stops panicking, and when panic disappears, behavior improves. Let's make this concrete. Say your monthly expenses are $2,500. With $1,000 saved, you're covered for less than 2 weeks. One unexpected expense wipes you out. With $5,000 saved, you're covered for 2 full months. You have time. Time to think. Time to respond. Time to choose instead of react. And money at its core isn't about luxury. It's about time. Here's what most people don't realize. Before $5,000, every dollar has too many jobs. It's your emergency fund, your investment money, your vacation money, your peace of mind. That's impossible. So nothing works properly. After $5,000, money finally gets rolls. This is emergency money. This is long-term money. This is spending money. And once money has rolls, discipline stops feeling like willpower and starts feeling automatic. Now you might be thinking, "Zach, $5,000 feels impossible. I can barely save anything." That's fair. But here's the truth. People don't fail to save $5,000 because they don't earn enough. They fail because they aim at the wrong target. Most people try to optimize too early. They want to invest. They want to pick stocks. They want perfect credit. They want everything at once. But they're doing it while their brain is still in survival mode. That's backwards. The smarter order looks like this. First, build the first $1,000. That's survival. Second, push aggressively to $5,000. That's stability. Only after that do you worry about investing and optimization. Because scared investors make bad decisions. Calm investors make boring decisions. And boring decisions build wealth. Here's a simple framework that actually works. Automate something small, even $25 a week. That's over $1,300 a year without thinking. Redirect found money, tax refunds, bonuses, side income, money you weren't counting on anyway, and temporarily reduce lifestyle friction. Not forever. Just until you cross the line. This isn't about punishment. It's about escaping a mental trap. I've seen this over and over. People hit $5,000 saved and nothing externally changes. Same job, same rent, same income. But internally, everything shifts. They stop panic spending. They stop avoiding their finances. They start thinking in months and years instead of days and weeks. Because fear is expensive and confidence compounds. This is why the first $5,000 matters so much. Not because it makes you rich, but because it changes how you think. Better thinking leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to consistency. Consistency is what builds wealth. So if you're below $5,000 right now, your only real job is this. Get out of survival mode. Once you do, everything else gets easier. If this helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It helps more than you think. And subscribe to Growth Capital Mind if you want clear, realistic finance content that focuses on mindset, discipline, and long-term wealth. Because once your brain is on your side, the math finally starts working for you.